take a L no more. Never take a damn thing slow. All I know is chase this dog and get money. Never gonna take no loss. Never gonna lose my sauce. All I know is chase this and get money. Get money.
All right, what's up, everybody? We are Dog Awful Betting. We are back with another podcast this week. This is our Circa podcast. We're going to go over our Circa picks, Circa discussion from last week, and what we like for this upcoming week. I'm Vegas Knight here in Las Vegas. Here joined by Parlay Puffin, Sideways Jarvie, and Steffi Sanchez. They're in the Show Me State as always. So let's get into the Circa picks. So we did not have a very good week this week. We went 1 win and 1 tie, so we only gained a point and a half. So our total is at 6.5 for the contest. We went from being tied for first down to tied for 731st. So we got some work to do in week 3. Out of all the entries, there are 2 teams that are perfect 10-0. They have 10 points. But we did not have the week we wanted to. It was awful, which is why we are called Dog Awful Betting. But yeah, it wasn't good. I would prefer to just forget about it, to be honest with you. Like I was saying last week, we need to average about 3 wins a week. If we want to kind of be in that top 100 payout. But like I said, we got off to a good week on week 1, going 5-0. Last week kind of sucked a little bit. But like I said, we're on pace for 3 wins, 3 wins a week. So that's kind of where we need to be. Hopefully we can come back strong this coming week and knock out another 4 or 5 win week, and we'll get back on track to where we need to be. But let's talk about our picks here. Puffy, what do you got for your top 3?
So my top 3, my number 1 pick, if the line stays somewhere close to where it is going to be the Seahawks minus 5.5. They have the Panthers coming to town. Rookie quarterback going into Seattle is can't be fun for that guy. So I love that. I love that setup for Seattle up north there. Number 2 actually kind of depends on if he plays. If he doesn't play, which is kind of what it sounds like they're leaning, I like the Rams plus 2.5. The defense for the Rams is still decent with Donald and everything, and just the Bengals, if they don't have Burrow, who knows what their quarterback is going to look like. So I kind of like that right now. It'll probably change once they announce that he's out, but at plus 2.5, I like it. And then my third one that I like, I don't like picking road teams often, but this situation I do. I like the Bills over the Commanders at minus 6.5. I think Allen kind of got right. I know the Commanders are pretty decent, but that would be my top 3. Bills is not my favorite. But it's up there with the other 2.
We got Jarvie.
Well, it's my bye week, but I'm going to give you my top 3. And I also want to tell all my Dog Awful Betting friends right now, all right, stick with your gut, all right? When you guys think, you guys suck, all right? You guys would be 3-1-1 this last week if you would have stuck with your gut. If Parlay Puffin would have stuck with the Colts, would have won. If Sethi Sanchez would have stuck with the Dolphins, would have won. All right? Trust your gut. All right? All right. Now, with my 3 picks, number 1, I have, who I just dogged in the last podcast, the New England Patriots minus 2.5 at the Jets. I do not trust that quarterback. I think if there's one thing that has got to happen, the Patriots, I do think since they don't have Rodgers, I do think they can go in there and take care of business. That's my number 1 pick for this week. I got the Patriots minus 2.5 at the Jets. My second team that I like this week, and I understand, again, how much I've been praising the Dolphins, but I do think they are just a better team than the Broncos. Fins minus 6.5 against the Broncos. Pick them to cover. I like that. And then my third one I like is, I think the Cowboys are going to destroy the dadgum Cardinals. It's minus 12.5, and I know that sounds like a lot of points, but good luck scoring on that defense.
I can see it. Yeah.
I mean, good luck scoring. I mean, seriously, even if they get lucky and get one touchdown, the Cowboys are putting up 21 on the Cardinals at least. So to me, Cowboys are my number 3rd pick. I go Patriots at Jets minus 2.5, Fins at home against the Broncos minus 6.5, and Cowboys minus 12.5 at the Cardinals.
All right, Sanchez, what you got?
All right, I like those. I think Patriots is probably a stay away for me just because their offense has struggled so much. I think they're probably better than the Jets, but I like those. I have Bills written down as number 1 for me, but I think since it's at Commanders, I still like that, but I'm going to knock it down to number 4. I'm going to mention 3 more.
You had them at 1 and boom, all the way to 4?
The Dolphins, I mean, how is there any world which the Broncos stay within 6.5 points? I don't know if Waddle is out, if it brings it even down that much, maybe. Right. But I think the Dolphins are just so much. They're great, and the Broncos are god awful. I hate you, Russell Wilson. I think that I like the Eagles at the Bucks. I think that the Bucks haven't played anybody, and I think the Eagles are slowly going to get better. I don't think the Eagles are as good as they were, but I think they're going to work Baker Mayfield over just because Baker has only played average to below average teams. I like the Raiders minus 1.5 against the Steelers in Vegas this week. Oh. The Steelers, the Browns and the Steelers, they were just beating the living crap out of each other on Monday night. They're going to have less rest, and I think the Raiders are actually a decent team. My prediction at the beginning of the season was for the Raiders to have the worst record, but I think they can run the ball. I think they can throw the ball. I don't know what Devontae's status is. He got knocked out. So if he's not playing, obviously that would go down. But I really like that just because the Steelers, I think they're going to be beat up after a really hard game. And, Minka went out and they lost a few guys. And I just like that spot for the Raiders.
Okay. So I like the Ravens minus 8 at home against the Colts. Richardson went on the concussion protocol. I'd like to know more about if he's going to play or not. But I feel like the Colts are in the same boat with the Texans when the Ravens play the Texans. So I love Ravens minus 8. Number 2 is the Niners. I actually like them quite a bit against the Giants on Thursday night. Kind of depends on what Saquon's status is. If he sits, and as long as the line doesn't go above 10 or less, I really like the Niners for a number 2 pick. Number 3, I like the Rams as well, plus 2.5. I actually think when Monday gets here, that actually might move to almost a pick 'em, I would think. But those are my top 3 right there. That's who I would, as of right now, that's the way I'm leaning. Obviously, once Thursday, obviously, once Thursday gets here, we'll have to see where the lines rest and
no, I mean, there's no way we can't lock in our picks on Thursday. We can't bet a Thursday game.
Well, I mean, we could.
There's too many injuries that we have to wait on and hear about, and
I'm not
it's
saying
just crazy to lock in our 5 picks.
I'm not saying we have to. I'm saying I'd like the Niners. I'm saying if we'll have to look at it and see what our options are.
Why do you like
Ravens are number 1 for me anyway? So
I hear you.
Why do you like the Ravens so much against the Colts?
Oh, rookie QB. I mean, Richardson might be out with the concussion protocol. Like, what scares you about the Colts?
Minshew's a veteran, though. He's not a rookie, though.
Ravens look good this year. I don't think you understand how good the Ravens are.
How many?
See, look at this hat. Look at this hat. I don't think you understand how good the Ravens are.
How many passing touchdowns does your quarterback even have this year?
Who?
The Ravens quarterback.
Who cares? They're 2-0. They're fine.
How many passing touchdowns does Lamar have this year?
It doesn't matter how many he has. They're 2-0, and they've covered every game they've played this year.
I don't like it.
Well, I do, and that's going to probably be my pick. But
The Colts play them weird, don't they? I remember a couple weird scoring wonky games. Baltimore Colts.
It don't matter. Then it's not. It's a good pick. Trust me.
Colts,
All right.
I feel very scary team. I feel like they just play in it. I mean, they play games like even the first week we got really lucky that the Jaguars covered against the Colts. Like we got lucky, and I just feel like the Colts are just a sneaky team. But I agree. I mean, if Richardson does play, I think it's scarier just because he's a freak athlete, man. He helps keeps line closer because he runs the ball, and when you run the ball, you slow down the clock and you just keep games close. That's one thing I worry about the Colts is just keeping games close. I think they'll cover more spreads when they're dogs than not.
Yeah, I'm not trying to talk you out of it, Nine. This is interesting. This is probably the favorite part of the podcast because everyone had a surprising pick to me. It was interesting to hear what everyone liked most. So, I mean, yeah, the Ravens have just as good a chance as anybody. So, I don't want to talk you out of it. I'm just saying what I like or dislike.
I mean, I actually had Niners number 1, but like I said, with it being a Thursday game, I moved them to number 2.
I don't see any way that game's within 15 points.
What?
Niners.
I
think
mean, I like it a lot. Like if there was a way we could lock in one pick, like I'm gonna look at it on Thursday and see if there's a way I can just submit one pick and then we can make our rest.
Well, make sure that you don't like try it.
Obviously,
and if we only lock in one and we're screwed, because
I understand.
Right.
Is there anyone about that?
What?
You talk to Circa about that? Like,
I'm sure they gave me a list of rules and stuff. I don't know if it's on the rule thing or not, but
Gotcha.
yeah, I don't want to get the punching stuff in and oops, like we only got one pick submitted. I won't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, that was a good podcast. Time's up. We gotta go.
Peace.
See you guys.